Today, I want to talk about how I use ChatGPT and other AI tools to brainstorm patterns and collection ideas. So one of the ways I do it is I actually saw something interesting on the anthropology website that was called Whimsy Goth Decor. So I simply went on ChatGPT and asked it to tell me about Whimsy Goth Decor. And it gave me these images that are like really cool and interesting, kind of witchy and dark. And it's very much my vibe. And it said, Whimsy Goth, a mashup of whimsical and gothic, is an interior and fashion aesthetic that blends dark, moody vibes with playful, nostalgic whimsy. Think gothic elegance with Tim Burton meets fairy tale energy. And so and then it gives me some key style trends like a color palette, which is deep jewel tones and metallics. Texture and materials, velvet, brocade, lace, aged glass, aged brass, celestial symbol, and then some motifs. So celestial symbols, mystical prints, vintage trinkets, apothecary jars, crystals. So this is very much my vibe. I really love it. So I'd say acting as a Pinterest consultant, create a title and description for a whimsy goth aesthetic board. So here is the board and the title and the description, and here's the board that I ended up creating when I started searching. And it has this like Sarah J. Maas, fairies and witches and snakes and gothic. Maybe the board is skewing a little gothic, but I still love it. And then I said, I am looking to create a fabric collection inspired by Whimsy Goth. The vibe I'm going for is Nycor from Acotar meets anthropology. The song that comes to mind is a Brazilian song by Zé Ramalho called Entre a Serpente e a Estrela, which is caught between the serpent and the star. And as my marketing consultant, please create a description for this collection. And so we did write a pretty good description. And then I asked to get 20 pattern ideas. And I'm not necessarily going to use all of them, but it's just to get my brain flowing with different ideas. So talking about Celestial Oath, Garden of Secrets, Moonlit Oracle, Echoes of Alaris. I love this. Myth and Moth. I love this alliteration here. Obsidian Fog, Gossamer Veil. So these are all great ideas. So I asked to create a CSV with pattern ideas and include motifs that I'll need to create for this collection. So and it added a CSV. So it says the name of the patterns and, categories. So I know, if the motifs need to be bigger or bolder, and a series of motifs that I'll have to create. So moons, stars, sigils, night sky, gothic florals, thorny vines, eyes, serpents, Art Nouveau swirls, hands, crescent moon, crystals. So this is giving me a really good start for a collection, some ideas on what I could sketch. And now, to get a more visual sense, I went on MidJourney, and I'm going to show you this folder from back to front. So I started with draft mode and asked MidJourney to create a Whimsy Goth fashion pattern collection mood board And it started with this. And I think it's quite interesting. It's very dark. I did some iterations of this. I love the moth. I love the celestial elements, the raven, the color palette. This is spot on. Flowers, some dresses, and I love how I can just brainstorm things and get a visual idea without having to dig too deep. This is a little of the feathers here. I like it. These starbursts. So these are all some mood boards and some ideas of what I'll start sketching. And then I'll scroll through these. I love this color palette, this dress, and these are some other iterations, but I love these flowers, and this like could be the start of a pattern. The flowers with the moons and some like texture from like zodiac signs in the back. It seems like an interesting idea. I love this like mystical geometry, celestial geometry with flowers. That's another interesting idea. Let's keep going. And here, I love how it added the eyes. These eyes are so like a little creepy, but still pretty cool. And here you have some more, they look like jewels, that are pendants that are hanging, but are they stars? This has more crystals and flowers. And just kept creating, just using draft mode in MidJourney and trying different things. This is more of a pattern. And I like those two. I like this. This is quite nice. It would be an interesting pattern. And this one's a little too pink and coral, but could work. And we'll keep going, seeing this floral seems really, really interesting. I love that it's still really dark, but it's floral and feminine. Just getting some more ideas. This is a little more symmetrical, like a millefleur motif. This is very celestial. The clouds, I think I could do something cool without watercolors. So just getting ideas here. And now I asked to add some dahlias, and then the dahlias look very photographic, which is not the style I was looking for, but it's still kind of interesting. And then I asked to be more William Morris, but make it dark. And I think I love these dahlias here. These would be a really interesting idea. I love the chrysanthemums and the hellebores. Hellebores are one of my favorite flowers. These dahlias, this could be a really interesting idea as well. I love these muted ones that is like almost like all in shades of gray, but still a little pink. And lots of flowers arrangements to get an idea of what can I do, like what arrangements could I make, like arranging the flowers, adding light and dark. And all this I can just use as inspiration. I'm not going to use these directly, but just as an inspiration. I love dark hellebores, I think. Like they get so pretty. And I'll keep going and show you some more things that I ended up creating. So I started to see these dark dahlias with black, which could be really cool. Black, it's like black and gold and purple. It's just pretty. There's some more arrangements. I'll quickly scroll through some of these. Chrysanthemums and dahlias and roses. And here you can see, okay, it looks really cool with like a gray, charcoal background. See what else. Oh, and then I wanted to add some birds, and these ravens look great. This one looks kind of weird. These owls look adorable. I think they don't quite match the vibe of the collection that's a little more dark, but these are some cute guys. The feathers are nice. The eyes are a little creepy, but I think they go with the vibe too. This looks a little too much Lord of the Rings, Mordor, but still interesting. Some antlers. And then I started going into tarot cards, which I think is an interesting option as well to add. And let's keep going, see what else. So here, then it started going a little too macabre for my taste. The mushrooms are a little interesting, the feathers, but then the skulls, a little too macabre, but we don't have to use it, right? It's just getting an idea. So let's scroll through these. These are more like night sky and tarot cards. These are quite interesting, actually. And here's just a collection of tarot cards. I think this could be an interesting pattern, like drawing some of these really cool tarot cards in Procreate and have them tossed about. I don't know, maybe another idea. This seems cool. I don't know. I love this, how this one turned out. This with the black card and the white flowers. Some more tarot cards ideas. This pattern, it's not a pattern yet, but this composition I really like. I think it could become an interesting pattern. It's like a dark version of William Morris and with celestial elements and some fruit. This one is a little too light. This bird looks amazing. Not for this collection, maybe, but let's keep going. Stars, these eyes didn't work out. This is another variation of that pattern that I liked. This one is quite interesting, not the vibe I was going for. This one is beautiful. It does have that Sarah J. Maas, the author, like vibe to me. Like I can imagine that in one of her books, the stars and a garden. I love this one. It would be an interesting idea to do the charcoal and the gold with some pops of pink. And let's see what else. Yeah, and here's some more variations of my favorite there. And let's keep going. I like these tarot cards. They seem interesting. Maybe I'll continue in that line. And some more of the cute owls. This one is really friendly and nice. I like this guy too. And let's see, some more ravens. What I like about this process is it gives me an idea of what are the colors looking like together, what are the motifs looking like together before I even start sketching. And, you know, these elk look really cool, but, you know, I don't know how I would incorporate it in a pattern necessarily. But still, like, it's giving me some food for thought. These owls, I think, are really interesting, with the black and the pops of pink. The ravens as well. These are some ideas for mock-ups that need to be refined, but they're a starting point. And let's scroll through these. And then continue building on these patterns. This moon looks really creepy, but it's interesting, you know? And now some tarot cards. This one looks kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to go with this idea, but, you know, still playing with it and seeing what I can get. And more star patterns and motifs. I like, one of the things I really like is the line art on these. I think it gives it such a cool vintage vibe. I love this sun. And then I did some other tarot cards, some roses, some waves. They're not real tarot cards. They're just like, what if there was a wave tarot card? Or what if it was a tree or a thorn or a rose or a snake? I love the snake. I think that would be a good one for the pattern. This one where you can't quite see where it starts and ends, just with this, the actual snake pattern. I think it's lovely. This one I don't quite get. Anyway, so there's some interesting ideas here to play with. And then you can get your brain going, like this one. Where did it go? Okay. With the thorns, I think it will make an interesting pattern. This one with the star filled with flowers, I think it could make an interesting motif. These arches, these Gothic arches with flowers as well. This to me is like a cross between the elven arches on Lord of the Rings and Gothic, and I love it. Like, it to me is just right the vibe I was going for. I tried some wolves as well. Not sure if I'm going to use it. I think for the wolf to look cool, it would need more detail than I usually go for in my illustrations. So there you have it. This is how I use my MidJourney and ChatGPT accounts to get inspiration for a pattern collection. Thank you for watching, and I hope to hear more from you soon.